Oh, okay. All this stuff. Okay, this is going to be Jesus Came to Me number two. If you watched one, I don't know if that impressed you or not, but if it helps one person, great. That's how I feel about it. And I'm going to put it on here. Maybe down in history, it might people might watch it, but I just have to tell you the story, and I keep thinking, Jesus helps me. Jesus is helping me. It's uh, and like I say, it could all be a coincidence. But you tell me what you think about this story. Okay, they took my They took my mom away from her mom because they thought my grandma was a little unstable, and they were raised by the other side, grandpa and grandma of the family. So anyway, there'd be times my mom wouldn't. She'd see her real mom when she got older once in a while, and we we were in and out. Or my mom was in and out with my grandma, and even when I was younger, uh, I got to be close to my cousins, and I'd spend my night at my grandma's. I'm talking, when I was maybe 12, 13 years old, around there, and then uh, we do things together, and then later on, I didn't see him for a long time. Of course, I was on the road. I lived in Florida, and so anyway, my mom asked me to go see my grandma. So I went and saw my grandma. Well, my mom's half sister had two children who I never even knew about. Well, I think my cousin Roger was about 10 years old, and his sister was about 7. And I never saw him before, and I immediately fell in love with him. Roger was learning how to play guitar. At that time, I was in the paper all the time. I was working 6 nights a week at the Holiday Inns and Brown Derbies. So my cousin Roger, excuse me a second. My cousin Roger, like I said, played guitar, and for a little guy, he was cool. But I could show him better. I could teach him things, and he idolized me. And anyway, I'm trying to make this kind of short, but Roger grew up. Roger got to be exceptionally good looking. He had long hair. He could sing. He was really a good singer. He was a good guitar player. He did it professionally. He got into drugs. He drank a lot, and he made a lot of wrong decisions. But him and his wife, she was a class act, and she wasn't into drugs. And they'd come down to see me in Florida. I moved to Florida, and they'd come down, and I went up and saw them in the Panhandle. We were so close. Well, I'm not sure of the exact age, but I would guess I'd say at 30, whatever, he died, and it broke my heart. I couldn't When he was dying. I couldn't go over and see him because I couldn't take it, and I should have, but I couldn't take it. So anyway, what happened was he had a daughter, uh, and I saw her as a baby one time. I went over there, and actually, he's on my YouTube. If you go to Big Al Sing One, Big Al Sing One, no spaces, Big Al Sing One, Roger, you can see him, and you can see him singing and at his house. I'm glad I thought. I can't believe I thought of this. But anyway, and then his sister Michelle, she was a beauty queen when she was young, and I loved her too. But for some reason, uh, I know what it was. I think we just didn't stay in touch. And one day we went to the store, and we were going in the store, and this lady was in the car, and Kathy said hi, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and go in the store. I didn't know it was my cousin. So I called her and apologized and said, hey, I didn't know it was you. And she didn't call me back. So to make a long story short, a few years later, I decided I wanted to go see her. Well, I went to see her. She's working for Amazon. And weird hours when we got her out of bed. She was working nights or So, and we got her number, and and we called her one time, and she was at the steak place. Like I can't think, but it's like a steak smorgasbord place. And we went there, and I actually one time she came over and she said no one ever bought anything. So I gave her some. She said that she really liked it. But anyway, we bought her a $20 gift certificate for the steak place. Anyway, her name's Michelle. Well, when Roger died, apparently she didn't know how to get a hold. I would like to see Roger's daughter. Now I didn't really know how long it'd be, how old she would be, and anyway, here's what's going on. Now I'll get down to the brass tacks. Okay, I am interested in Roger's daughter. All our grandkids and my nephew we spoil them. I didn't have any kids. It's Kathy's daughter. We have 3 grandkids and 3 great grandkids. And I'll tell you what, we do things. We love them. And one of our friends does groceries and stuff for the poor every year. And it gave her, I think, 4 boxes of food to help her out. But anyway, so anyhow, what's going on is Michelle had a falling out with Roger's wife, and Michelle did not know how to get hold of her, and I wanna meet Roger's daughter and spoil her, and the mother too. And I've only met her one time. The time you see on the video is the only time I ever met her and seen her, and she was pretty. But anyway, within the last couple of weeks, I'm wanting to get I wanted to get a hold of Roger's wife, and Michelle my cousin didn't know how to do it. So anyway, I have a nosebleed, and I never have a nosebleed. Anyway, that's very unusual. So anyway, I had no way of doing it. Michelle doesn't know where she lives, didn't know her phone number. And so anyway, I go to dialysis 3 days a week. I was going to one dialysis. It was hell. It was horrible. Almost suicidal. But I would never do it, but I just felt lousy. Well, and I'm going to say, Jesus got me a new place. I'm in heaven. I'm relaxed. To go there, I don't mind it. The people are angels, are wonderful. And just a stupid thing. The other place, I'm a giver. I took in 6 people cheesecake. Great cheesecake. Well, guess how many people thanked me? 1. And guess how many people told me how great it was? And it is the best. 0. Okay, this place here, for my birthday, I took in cheesecake and chocolate cake. Everybody was telling me. One lady even, here we go, another story. One lady even cleaned the bowl and put on a card, thank you, and that was so, her name was Carol, and I just met her. So anyway, let's see, I have to think, Kathy and I did a video, singing live, so if you want to see that, Big Al Sing One, all one word, no spaces, number 1. Carol Dialysis, I don't even think you have to go to Big Al Sing One. I think you just go to Carol Dialysis Big Al. I believe that's it. And you'll see Kathy and I singing to her and talking to her. Anyhow, so at dialysis, the other day I took, I was talking to this one girl. Kathy and I played on Carnival cruise ships. We've been in places like Puerto Vallarta, Cabo, Mazatlan, on. Turned down Disney World in Japan about 20 years ago for 9 months because of my mom, and we didn't want big money. They would pay for condos and the flights, and we didn't take it because I was worried about my mom. Japan, Disney World. So anyhow, at this dialysis, I talked to this girl who loves to travel. Her name is Jessica, and I'm learning all these new names. Well, anyway, Jessica, we started talking about cooking, and oh, I know what happened. Kathy and I went. I am a great cook. I got in a competition with 9 entries, and I swept it. My chili's the bomb. Well, I went to Eagles the other night for karaoke with my wife, and we went there, and they had chili, and it was better than mine. And I said, gee, many Christmas. So anyway, I asked to talk to the chef. Well, a lady and a man came out, and I told them, hey, if you write it down, I'll give you $10 for the recipe. And they said, oh, no problem. They just told me. The difference between mine and theirs was theirs was pretty basic. They had pork, sausage, and then garlic. And normally I don't like garlic. Well, anyway, I had the garlic, I added the pork, and used mine, and mine was even better. So my chili was an 8, theirs was a 9, and mine's a 10 now, because I learned from them. So anyway, so this Jessica, really a pretty girl who loves to travel, and she's been around the world. And I mean, she's been to places that I've been. She'd been there also. And so anyway, we started talking about chili, and she said, well, there's this chili powder that's the bomb. It's better than McCormick. It's better than all of them. It's super duper. Well, I said, okay. I said, well, how can you order it? Where do you get it? And there's an Ace Hardware right next to my dialysis. So I said, okay, well, I'll get some. So anyhow, the Ace Hardware next door, that particular day, I was totally broke. I didn't have any money, maybe a little bit of change in my car. And so I couldn't go. I went to dialysis. I couldn't go that day. So when I went back, and if you remember on my stories on the first one, every time I go back, okay, here's what happened. And this just blew my mind. Okay, I went back yesterday, which was a Wednesday, February. What would that have been? 21st. 2024. So I went back, and I went in, and I'm looking for this chili powder, and the name on it is something church, and they didn't have it. They were real helpful. A couple girls were helping me, and they said, oh yeah, we discontinued it, and it comes in a bag. So anyway, I had to order it. So anytime I meet people, I know a lot of people. So I always ask them, where'd you go to high school? Because I didn't go to college. I'm a high school graduate. So, hey, it's conversation, and hey, well, I know them. Or it's amazing what a small world is. And maybe I'll come back and tell you, even at dialysis, at dialysis, the new technician that's working on me, I love her. She's so great. Fantastic. Anyhow, I said hi to this gentleman at the scale, new guy. He came over, he goes, oh, I went to Norton. And I said, well, do you know Neva? And the dialysis who works on me, she goes, Neva, my mom and her are real good friends. And so anyway, Neva, my friend who does things with horses, she was working at Norton. She was into like school politics and helping, and she shows her ponies to the kids. And then I told her I went to the Eagles. She goes, oh yeah, my mom's a member there, and well known about. So like I say, small world. So, but anyway, I go over next door to get this chili powder. These girls are helping me out. Can't find it. So I asked the girl, hey, where'd you go to school? And she goes, Springfield. And I asked her, she's 50 years old. So anyway, I said to her, yeah, and you lived on Sunnyside. She goes, how'd you know that? And I said, I'm psychic. Well, Sunnyside is where my grandma lived and her grandchildren. And my mom's sister, she died years ago, even before my mom, which I didn't tell my mom. my mom was in a home and I didn't want to upset her. But anyway, so anyway, and right across the street was my cousin who married a girl from Lakemore and lived there. So I have two relatives living on the opposite side of the streets, on the same street. And it's just a short street. That street is about, let's see, 600 yards the whole road, Sunnyside. So anyway, and we started talking. I said, well, you might know my relatives. And I told her, and she goes, yeah, I know Roger died. He was a nice guy. Well, that's my sister's daughter who he was married to. And you know what? I don't even think they were married. Anyway, the father of she said that was her niece. So I said, oh my God. I said, I want to get a hold of her because I want to meet her. And she said, well, I'm sure their mother would have no problem. But she told me that her brother just died and I might wait. And I said, yeah. I said, I'll wait a couple weeks. She said, yeah, and I may even wait a month if she's going, since she lost her brother. So anyhow, come to find out the daughter's 11, and time goes by so fast. I'm thinking she's a little kid, 5. I didn't know. So I really, when they come over, I'm going to give them spaghetti sauce and whatever we have, we want to share. But I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm just saying, and to you it may not, but it's amazing, everything that I need. And like I say, if I get cancer tomorrow, I won't be. I love Jesus now. But to me, that's just it's unbelievable. I mean, it was just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm telling Kathy, boy, I'd like to see that girl. And Michelle didn't know where she was, and I go in there, and that happened. To me, it's a miracle. It's the odds. I mean, if I wouldn't ask her what school she went to, and she said Springfield, and I said Sunnyside, I would have never. And now, you know what? Let me see. Where's my wallet here? Hold on a second. Yeah. You know what? So you don't see. I know you know I would never fabricate stories, but let me. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Raquel's aunt, Janet. Okay, yeah, Janet. Yeah, Janet was her name. Anyway, I won't put the phone number. Let you see the phone number. But now, you know what? Okay, and this is Ace Hardware. It's just one of their slips, but transfer some kind of employee thing from Ace Hardware. But anyway, at least you know, and I didn't even think of this, and I didn't have to pull it. And the reason I have this is because they discontinued it. They had to order it. And so when it comes in, oh no, I'm sorry. This is I gave them my YouTube thing, and they're gonna let, or my email address, yeah, and they're gonna let me know when it comes in. And she said probably next Tuesday, but like I say, for me to pull this out, and I'm ad-libbing, I'm just thinking of stuff as it goes, and anyway. I'm just saying that I just feel like, and I don't know why, I feel like Jesus is just taking care of me. At the other place, I was miserable. You know what? I've got nothing better to do. I'll just tell you a couple of reasons why I was miserable. And I may have told you on the other video, this gentleman I got to be great friends with. He was a big wig at the Plain Dealer in Cleveland. He got out of there because of the same issues I was having with different people. But okay, here we go. So I go to dialysis. You know, I mean, I'm all taped up, and normally I have to wait till the next day. If I take this off at night, the blood has shot up. One time it just shot up. So I know I have to wait till the next morning to take the Band-Aid off. So anyhow, at the dialysis I was at, they were short-staffed, and people were at each other. And even other people have been there. I talked to a guy in your dialysis. He was there 2 months, and he called it hell. The girl that works on me, she worked there. She called it. Everybody hated it, and the company I'm at now is DaVita, and it's wonderful. And that's where I went, DaVita, and he said that's wonderful. So, but anyway, just to give you an example, I've been doing dialysis for 4.5 years, and I'm a bleeder. And so you hold it for 10 minutes, and they're supposed to check it, and they pull it up. Well, if you pull it up, guaranteed I'm going to bleed. And even the first place I went, and I loved it, I was close to everybody. But new, young people, I'd tell them, don't do it. Oh, boy, we're supposed to, and then it'd bleed. And they finally learned. I sat there for another half hour, another 10 minutes. So they learned finally and respected the fact that no, don't lift it. Okay. So anyway, the place I was at, they had a temporary nurse come around. She was doing me. So anyway, and normally I put on the tape myself. That way, I made that decision. And even if it's a little bloody, I tape it. There'd been times that I would, the whole time I was there, I only bled 4 times to the scale when you leave, and once out in the parking lot, and in my car driving, I had to come back. So, I knew I'm pretty, my judgment, I know what I'm doing. So, anyway, this nurse, she did me that day, and she wanted to tape me out, which I didn't care. Anyway, she said, okay, I need to check it. I said, don't check it. She said, and I told her, I said, I've had 4.5 years of experience. Well, I've had 7, and that's what we do. Okay? I've had 7, that's what we do. And I said, no. So she went to the head nurse, and Bonnie knew me. She knew I was intelligent, and she lied. She said, well, I already checked him, and that nurse knew she didn't. So, and I lifted it slowly just to see, and I had to stay there another 10 minutes. It bled, just to see what, and I did it, and there it was, blood. So anyway, the new place I'm at now, and when I knew I was going to DaVita, I thought, is it going to be hell again? Am I going to hate it? And the peace of mind is so much quieter. They turn the light down, which, I don't sleep hardly ever anyway. But anyway, the technician that works on me, the one that said her mom goes to Eagles and I love her, she said to me, I told her, I said, listen, don't check. She said, yeah, we're supposed to. She said, but I never do because people bleed. And I thought, oh, ka-ching, how wonderful. But the people are so kind and so friendly, and it's so much better for me mentally. And a couple times I'd tell Kathy I'm not coming home because I'd go down and sit at the lake. There's a lake about a mile from our house, and it's a park where people take their boats out. Well, I'd go down there because I was so angry, and I have story after story after story, and they were understaffed. So if I moved the wrong way at the house, that machine goes off, beep, so it shuts down. So until they turn it back on, all that time's added. So they were short-staffed. So it may be 10 minutes before someone gets over to me to turn the machine because it beeps. So I had to add on my time. So when you have to sit there like this, to be in prison would be an upgrade. Why? Because I can go to the bathroom. There you have to sit. There's times you have to go to the bathroom. You hold it. It can be a pain in the butt. And so anyway, and you're not allowed to drink. People on dialysis, I'm allowed 4 cups of water a day. So if I eat a box of soup, the whole box, which I wouldn't eat that much, but that's 4 cups of water. So I could use 3, but even then, that takes some getting used to. And if you drink too much water, you'll cramp. And I'm pretty tough, and sometimes those cramps can be really bad. But I normally try to take it if it's not too bad. Oh boy. So anyway, I guess I'm just talking to be talking. But anyway, back to what I was saying. God is providing, and in the last videos, He provided the fence, He provided the bed, He provided the John Deere tractor. But everything, you go back. And the only reason, and I told Kathy, I didn't have the money that day to go get the powder, which was Monday. So Kathy went to the bank, got me $100, and then I'll pay her back when I get my check. And I don't get very much, but she don't. I don't have to pay her back, but I just want to. And so anyway, but I went back. So that's my key with Jesus. I think He's telling me every time you go back, and even the dog. I drove by the house, and Eva had a different car, so I had to go back. And like I say, the whole thing might be crazy, but I'm gonna tell you again, man. I saw Jesus in the tree, and if Kathy wouldn't have been here, I'd have said, no way. It was a dream. I'd have thought, no, man, I know you were dreaming, and she verifies it. She confirms it. It all happened because I said, Kathy, look, and I couldn't understand it. So anyway, I love you, Jesus, and thanks for giving me a chance. I want to go to heaven, and do I know about heaven? I don't know anything about the Bible. Humans wrote the Bible. Maybe it's correct. I don't know, but Jesus isn't insisting I read the Bible. But if He'd have said, read the Bible, I would have had to do it. I would do it. And I'm not real good. My spelling's bad. And the only reason I even read is because I have a computer. I never read anything. So anyway, thank you for listening. So I don't know, maybe someday someone will start watching these, but if it gives you any more belief or it helps, hey, I'd like to see that believes in God. I'd like to see you go to heaven. I don't know yet, but anyway, my name is Big Al, and if you want to, like I say, Big Al Sing One. If you go to Big Al Sing One, that's how you get there. But I sang with Larry Alltop. Larry Alltop sang in Vegas. He was on the Mike Douglas show, the Roy Bishop show. Him and I do Righteous Brothers together. You never, baby, get on. And, if rock and roll heaven, Jimmy gave us rainbow, Janice took a piece of her heart. That's Bill Medley's part. And he goes, oh, my love. He hits the high part like you wouldn't believe. So to see it, if you want to see Larry and I sing recently, okay, but first off, we wear wigs, Kathy and I do Elvis Willie on the road again, and you'll never find. We do impersonations and wear the wigs. I'm not scared of dying. You got to know when to hold 'em, like Kenny Rogers. And so anyway, what I was going to say was, go to Big Al Sing One, Mercedes, and you'll see me with an Elvis wig on, and I do a song by Elvis. And anyway, the other night, if you, let's see, if you go to Big Al Sing One You know what? I don't even think you have to do that. If you go to, see, it was Larry, Alan, Steve. Okay. Steve is a minister friend of mine from Dallas. Great singer. He was on my TV show. I did it. Well, I think I told you about it. Anyway, go to Larry, Al, Steve, Larry, Al, Steve, 2024, 2024, and it should pop up. It, I went to a girl's house and I couldn't get it on her computer, but yet on the phone, give it a try and you might see it. But you'll see us doing 2 songs by the Righteous Brothers. You'll see Steve. You'll see a guy named Buddy Hildebrand singing. But you'll see us doing Willie Nelson and I did Tony Bennett. I left my heart, San Francisco. And you'll see that. And we did To All the Girls I Loved Before with Larry. Now, if you also go to Big Al Sing One Vegas, you can see Kathy and I singing, wearing wigs together. And anyway, you know what? I might as well tell you just another quick story, just so you can check this out. I had the Big Al TV show, and I had a guy at the time. He was either 70 or 80. He was crazy Italian guy. Loved the guy. He was so funny. And he'd always bust my chops, always teasing me, picking on me. Well, I did commercials in Akron. I did one for the Giuseppe's commercial, pizza. He made me take $200 and free pizzas till he gave it to his son for almost a couple of years. And so anyway, I did a commercial for them. And this D'Angelo's Pizza, I did one for them. I had on WHLO. I had the only singing commercial. I wrote a commercial for him, took it in, and the next day it was on WHLO, and they loved it. But anyhow, he was Italian, so I wanted my John Oreo. His name was John, and he would say 10 or 10, and that's how you remembered it. And his last name, and that's how you spelled it, 10 or 10. So anyhow, John was crazy. I bought a picture of a beautiful family, a husband and wife with 2 kids. I mean, I bet they paid a lot, but they sold it at a garage sale. Well, I bought it for $1, and I took it. I told John, "You got to hang this on your wall." Well, he hung it, and his wife made him take it down in a couple of years. But just crazy bullcrap. Him and I teasing all the time. When we played Carnival cruise ships, we went to we went to Grand Cayman Islands, Cozumel, New Orleans. Well, when we went to New Orleans, we went to the Riverside Mall. So a few people have been there. And I bought a sign at Italian Parking Only at a novelty shop. So I took that back, gave it to him, and he had it on his window in the front of his house. Well, after about a couple months, somebody stole it. But, he loved that, and we went back and forth, goofy stuff. So anyway, I went in to meet Joe from D'Angelo's Pizza on Main Street. So anyway, he came down there. So when he got out of his car, now he's an old man, broad daylight, he pulled down his pants and gotcha'd me. That means showing his butt. And he goes, "Huh? Put that on YouTube. You going to put that on YouTube?" If you go to YouTube, Big Al Sing One, all these stories, you're going to know that I'm not a BSer, man. I'm a straight shooting son of a gun. So anyway, if you go to YouTube, Big Al Sing One, Crazy John, okay, and another one. One day I teased him. He went over there to meet him again. Or this might have been the first time. Look at Big Al Sing One, Johnny Be Good. And I didn't talk to him, and he was so mad he was cussing at me. But I was teasing him. But anyhow, you're going to put that on YouTube? Huh? You're going to put that on YouTube? And his wife was an angel. We called, my friend named her Bingo Jean because we took her to bingo. And when we went out that night, we won $1,100. I won $1,100. I picked them up, and I tried to give money, and they wouldn't take it. But when you go to bingo, it's all about timing. When you get that card, when you walk in that door, that determines if you got the right card. Well, by picking them up. By picking them up and waiting for them to walk to the car, took me there at that. If we wouldn't have picked him up, I wouldn't have won $1,100. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So anyway, she died before him, and here's what's going on. If he was alive today, oh God, I'd be so tickled. I had watches. On John Oreo dropping in his drawers. How many? Are you ready for this? That was 1,000. More. 10,000? More. 25,000. More. 50. More. 60. More. 87,000 watches. Now, am I bullshitting? This is another way I'm building confidence with you. Like I say, this Jesus thing, man, well, first off, I still believed in God, so I would never fabricate something like this. Man, I am for real. If you have money, you want to put me on a what do you call them thing? Lie detector test? Man, Jesus came to my tree. So anyway, 87,000 watches. So go to Big Al Sing one, Crazy John, and it tells you, and it'll say 87K, which is 87,000. Every time you look at a video on YouTube, it tells you how many watches are on it. So it hasn't gone up. So maybe maybe it has to be more than 87. Maybe down the road it'll be 100. I don't know. But right now, as of February, it's probably about the 24th now. February, 22nd. Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday, February 22nd.
We have an echo dot. It is February 22nd, 2024. So I believe it's still 18. Anyway, 37 minutes, 25 seconds. I know I probably talk too much, but the average person, I probably love you. I never met y'all, but I wish you all the best. Big Al out of here. Enjoyed talking to you. Bye-bye.